Hello, how are you? This is JilliBling. Today's project, look at that, is all about spring. These colors is exactly what I see outside right now. The browns and all the different greens, and they're so vibrant, so vivid. And of course a little bit of sparkle in there. Then I did this one. They're pretty, huh? So I'll be using quite a few sets, and it's mostly for the words and this little green branch right here, parakeet party, notes in nature. That's what this is all about. And it says field notes here, and you can hardly see it. I love it though. But we'll be using quite a few things from here. Wild fern, mostly for the words, and wild ferns is a bundle, and it's got great frames for the words. So 2 out of 3 of them are from wild ferns. See the 3 different sizes? This one is from Timeless Arrangements, and it has this little tiny X on the side, which is really cute. But we'll be using those. Or we'll be using the medium one. I've already used this one and this one. Nature's Print, and that's mostly for this, but I love the words in here. I do like those things too. And then for dies, Notes of Nature, Timeless Arrangements for the word frames. Gorgeously Made is for this die right here, which looks like perforated paper, or paper that is in a spiral binding and you pull it out. I'll show you that here in just a minute. Wild Fern for the word frames, and Natural Prints for just for this die right here, and that cuts out this shape right here. So it looks like a lot, but I was just picking like, oh, I want one from there and one from here. A little excessive, but it looks good. Okay, so this is from Gorgeously Made. It looks like it was in a spiral bind and you just pulled it out. And I love the little perforation there. This one here with the dots, that is from Notes of Nature bundle. And then I just strung this piece of faux leather trim through there. And I cut the ends trying to make it look like it's kind of all frayed. Of course, wavy trim. I've been using that on everything. So let's make one like this in the portrait layout. The landscape is fine, but I think I like the portrait better. Oh, and then these little cork dots. What are they called? Adhesive back cork rounds. I've had them for a while, and I'm like, what am I going to use them for? Perfect right here. Okay. So I'll keep this one nearby. Then a little bit of the blends, just to give this broadleaf plant some color. So I'll go through the pieces as I fold them, tell you what sizes they are, and at the end I'll hold up the card and the paper cut sizes. So you can do a screenshot if you'd like. Okay, so the paper base, let me put them close here. The paper base is 5.5 by 8.5. And this card was supposed to be easy, but I just kept adding more and more onto it. No longer is it really considered easy. It's just, it has lots of pieces. Oh, so this is crumb cake, that doesn't sound right. This is 5 3/8. I didn't write that one down. So that is crumb in for inside, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I think that was the last minute add-on. Okay, and then this inside white, you'll cut 2 of them. One for the outside texture, and then this one. And this is 5 1/4 by 4. Same with this one, 5 1/4 by 4, and that's gonna be textured in So, what's it called? So Sophisticated. This is for free and the celebration. And if you want anything from celebration, it goes through the end of the month. So get it while you can. So I'm just going to texture that. And that's just going to go on with dimensionals. Host code. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you want anything and you want to get freebies, it'd be great if you could use this host code. And I'll put that in the description too. So I'm going to put on probably more than I normally would, because I don't know if you could tell that this paper is kind of curling just because there's so much texture on it from the embossing folder. Okay, so is there a right side up, or I did it both directions. I don't think it matters. Whatever you like. This one is a little bit more refined, and I think I was going to do that one, but since I'm already putting dimensionals on here, I'm going to go with this. Okay, and one in the middle. Like I said, today it's excessive. This side is the textured side. Okay, so that's good. Let's see, what else do we have here? Garden green is 5.5 by 2 3/4. And this I am going to use 5 dies to cut out these pieces. I could just show you. The long one, right here, this comes in, and look at all that texture in there. This comes in Notes of Nature bundle. And we'll cut off a little bit at the bottom. And then all these other pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces. Gets me these 5 right here. Isn't that pretty? Just put words over your set. It's so pretty. 5 pieces. Okay, so we'll use those in a minute. Let's see what else we have. This is paper for stamping, and the Stampin piece is 2 3/4 by 8.5. So let's do the stamping on here. Parakeet Party. Parakeet Party is going away in early May. So I've been using this and Tahitian Tide a whole lot just because I really like them, and they're going away. Okay, so that's all that's stamped in Parakeet. And then the words, I have a little cheat sheet here. These are the 4 items you'll need to stamp on this paper. Just a little note to say hello. I have stamps all over the place. There it is. And make sure to stamp down low enough so when you put your die over it, because if you stamped it way up high, you would run into the edge. Did I show you the insides of them? That one says hello there. Notice how this is colored. I don't know if I showed you the insides. Thanks for making me smile. Yeah, I like this one. Okay, let's get to stamping 2 more items in. Oh, and the colors used are Memento, Parakeet Party, Garden Green, Gray Granite. Accented, no inks, with Crumb. Little fuzzies everywhere. I was trying to trim up, you know how you get fuzzies on your sweaters? I was trying to trim off these pieces. There's more, I just trimmed them. So now I have little fuzzies floating all over. Okay, there's that one, and this one. Okay, so we're done with stamping for the front. We'll do a little more stamping on the inside. Okay, so now I'm going to use the dies to cut these out. There. medium. There. And here. Okay, so let me get those cut out. Just a minute. Those are here. Starting to look a bit pretty. Okay, so now all that's left is, those are just alternate sides. This, spiral bound, and my journal, my field journal, just those two, which are these two papers. So this one is for this piece right here, and it says field notes on it, and I'm going to stamp that in granite gray. And this one is 2 1/8 by 3 1/4, and the crumb cake paper is 4 1/2 by 2 1/2. Oh, and like I said, I'll hold this up. Okay, you ready to take a picture? There it is. This card, those sizes. And I'll put them on my blog too. Okay, on we go. Granite for field notes. And you know, every time I stamp this, I do it a little crooked, but I don't think it matters. It's hardly seen. And it says field notes. It has other things that I can't read. And the number is 060722. I'm going to stamp it a little bit low because I'm saving room at the top for the die. Okay. So this paper here gets this die, and this one gets this one. And when you flip it over, this side is kind of perforated. This is the top of the paper, so it goes that way. And if you try to figure out like where I want this on here, in the end it doesn't matter because I don't know that you can do it perfectly, and it's just supposed to be really random. So even if you do get like a half of one of these little teeth things, that's okay. But this one, on the other hand, the 3 dots in the middle, so it's a grouping of 3, 3, 3. So I'm going to put with just a little bit of crumb cake showing, 2 dots, 2 dots. That looks pretty centered. Okay, so let me cut these. There they are. Isn't that cute? Okay, so kind of my favorite part is the faux leather trim. This is at the end, right here. So to start out, I'm going to make a knot. And I don't know where I came up with this. Oh, did I tell you that I copied this from, I had to give her credit, from Cards and Stuff with Gail. I saw it on Pinterest. Thank you for sharing and making such a beautiful creation. Cards and Stuff with Gail. Thank you. Okay, so just before I cut it, I'll have this maybe a little bit outside the edge. Then I'll cut it just a little bit long. Then, to make this look all vintagey, and you need your scissors to be sharp enough, and kind of ragged, like it has been out in the field. It has been documenting, what am I doing? Leaves. These are all leaves. There's no flowers. This could be a good guy card. I usually put flowers on everything. Okay, is it looking a little vintagey and tattered and worn? Good enough. Just a little bit. Okay, so done with that. And then the trim, wavy, oh, it's a brand new one. We're so special. Okay, so it goes away. Probably could use that to hold this in place. Oh, I've got one. So for the trim, you need just a little bit to set on the front face, not going to the edges or anything. Okay. done with those. Here's that. Okay, so I'm going to weave through, and at first I was weaving through my tattered edge, which was hard, but I found it works out pretty good if you weave through the knotted one. I don't know if my fingers just like holding the knotted one better. I don't know, but it works pretty good. And I didn't go up and down through these because I wanted this to be equal to that. Do you notice like the little go flex on this? I'll hold it up close. And cool, huh? Cool stuff. I've used it a few times, but it's like I'm hoarding it. It's like, oh, I just have to wait for the right project. This is the right project. Okay, and here is my little perforated field notes. And it's really cute. I love the star at the bottom, but most of it's going to be covered up. Okay, here's pieces. Let's start making this card. Okay, so the crumb cake piece, oh, I did it upside down. The knot is here. Nope. Well, should I leave it upside down? No, I like the knot at the top. Okay, so I guess that part matters. Whoops. Pull it on out of there. So when you weave it through, decide where the top is. Yeah. I guess I just like feeding that knot through. Okay, so stories. The rest is just kind of assembly. Stories. Today, Tony decided, or actually a few days ago, I'm going to make a turkey. And he probably had it since Thanksgiving. I'm going to use glue because this has texture on it and I need it to really stick. So a few days ago, he pulled out a turkey from the freezer and he's going to grill it. So when he came home from work this morning, a little bit after 8, he's like, I need to get started grilling that. I'm thinking, it seems kind of early, but okay. I'm like, I think it might be too late for lunch, too early for dinner, but who am I to mess with a man and his barbecue, especially the way he cooks? So, okay. So he's out there and he's cleaning stuff and cooking up the little things for the dog. I don't want to say his name or else he'll come running over. Huh? You got something for me? And it was done like at 12:30 and we already ate lunch. I'm going to just kind of rough these up to make it look like it's pulled from a book. Anyhow, so he just put it in the refrigerator. He goes, yeah, that'll be for dinner tonight. I'm like, we should have just had dinner because that smells so good. Oh, and so he was like, well, what should I put on it? And I'm like, well, whatever you want, because I knew he was sprinkling some kind of seasoning on it. And he's like, well, what about like this mustard stuff? I have this fancy mustard. And I don't mind mustard, but I don't love mustard. It's okay. But he is like condiment king. I nickname him that and tease him that every once in a while. One dimensional in the center here so I could still tuck stuff in. Then I'll put more dimensionals on it. So he goes, well, what about honey? And I said, well, that sounds like that would be good. Because I tend to go for the sweeter things and he likes the saltier. But that's fine. Honey on a barbecue? Sure. He goes, or what if I mix it together? You know, honey mustard. And I'm like, well, I don't really like mustard. You know that. I don't dislike it, but I don't like it as much as he does. So he made it and he put some kind of seasoning on it, and I don't know that he put the mustard on it, but he came over. Oh, I know, he put this red pepper jelly jam stuff on it. Yep, I got a cough. I'm not sick or anything. It just happens. Anyhow, it was so good. I'm like, we have to wait. And I like it when he does turkey compared to just about anyone else, because to me, usually turkey ends up being a little bit dry. But whenever he does it, it's just fine. Just fine. Anyhow, then the dog, of course, has to go out there, and he likes to get his nose up underneath there where the drippings are, because he wants to eat them. So Tony goes, don't let him out until after it cools and I can get rid of that drip pan thing. Like, oh, okay. Anyhow, that's the excitement for today. That's it. Oh, and Jude, you might appreciate this, my friend. Or maybe not, and Lisa too. Guess who's going to get a new hip? He's got it scheduled, or he's working on getting it scheduled for right after we come back from our little summer break in May. He says, we're coming back on May 5th, so let's schedule it May 6th. They're like, well, we don't know if we could quite do that, but we'll try. But he's working on it. I guess it's bone on bone. When the doctor saw the x-ray, he goes, oh yeah. He goes, we could try like physical therapy and injections. He goes, but looking at that, and you know, as much as I'm in my room stamping, he's outside that much gardening. And he doesn't complain about anything, but they said, yeah, that's not, we know that you're hurting. Anyhow, so he's working on getting it scheduled. So he had a injection in, okay, this is Garden Green. You could see there's priorities. I'll talk about stuff, but Stampin' is a priority. This is stamped in Garden Green. And if you can, let it kind of dry a little bit. And now I'm going to color it with Parakeet Party. And on both of these, I use both colors. But really, the colors are a bit similar. You could really get away with just using one for the whole leaf. And when you color it, if you can, just think this is water-based ink. We're using alcohol marker. So just try to hit the line art once and then move on to something else. If you have to go over it a little bit more, that's fine. But see, now watch this, like a swoosh, swoosh in a new spot. Just because if you keep going over and over it, the alcohol and the alcohol marker will kind of smear and smudge this nice crisp green stamped line, and we don't want that. I could show you a good bad example. One of them I just kept trying to color it and blend it, and it got all kind of fuzzy, and I like it better, a nice crisp green. At first I thought you always had to use Memento, and that's all that's to it. You don't use dye-based ink. But if you're kind of quick, you could do it. And sometimes, like here, it's a really cool effect to have the two greens together. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me find my bad example. Those are still pretty clear. Oh, I'm going to use that. Well, I guess I did okay. These here in the corner, the green got a little bit smeared, but that's because I didn't wait very long either. These are fine. They're a little bit smeared right through here. See, that's a little bit fuzzy. But that's not so bad. It has been a lot worse. Okay, so we have that done. All these little pieces are just kind of like tuck it in. And I'm using a dimensional here, and then glue at the bottom, just so it tucks in. Like right about, maybe it could pop over the edge. There. And where's that other green one? Same thing. So other than that, I have no stories. Let's put this on. I know there's that. This I put on the inside right here, and I kind of trimmed it to make it look like a leaf. Oh, I did an extra one there. And this, I didn't use it. Oh, it's right here. But like if you trim that little stem off, you can make it look like it's still part of the branch, if you want. Okay, so this, I will put, this is where my braided trim is going to go. Right there. And I want to kind of fray the ends, because this is kind of going along with my my field note journal. It's all tattered. Okay, dry. Okay, we're looking good. I just want to make sure that this is parallel with the bottom of the paper, bottom of the card, because these are all going every way. Okay, so now we have just a little bit of greenery to tuck in. This one is my favorite. Look how pretty that is. This one, I like it, how it lays right beside. That one, I have it up there. Now, if I put it over there, it gets combined into this. Maybe there? Where's that big pretty one? This one could go right here. Right there. Shining proud. You don't want to see the word field notes anyhow, do you? Well, that's good there. It covers up this gap. Okay, and then these little bits can go here. It's just so green. Pretty and green. I don't know. Oh, right there, right there. Okay, so all these green are not attached. So I'll put glue just at the bottom of them. Tuck it in. Like that. So pretty. See, this card is a little excessive. There's a lot of pieces going on. I love it, don't get me wrong. Right up my alley, but sometimes I like to do them not so fussy. And that was the intent, but something happened. Okay, looking good. That one may be a little taller. Okay, now my cork rounds. Cork rounds. So I'm going to put on 2 big, 1 small, or 2 small and 1 big. Okay, 2 big are all by themselves here, 2 big. And I'm going to put them, so it's kind of part of a collage. I kind of smeared the ink there, so it's going there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, outside is done. So for the inside, what should we do inside? That looks good. So on the outside, just a little note to say hello. That's really nice. You're on my mind. Hello there. That's in the same font. That one's nice. And thank you. Thanks for making me smile. Those are nice. Okay, so Just a little note to say hello. That's from here. Today is all about you. Happy birthday. Oh, I like that. So just a little note to say hello came from here. I think I'm going to do the birthday one. Wishing you well today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. That's nice. But I think that might be the condolences. Okay, happy birthday. Oh, but do I have it ready? Yes. There's a little flower in here too. It's like this could be turned into a girly card. Different colors. Okay, so birthday words. I should probably test it. I'm gonna go for it. That worked out fine. Lucky, lucky. Okay, so for the inside, I kind of want to do all the Stampin', a little bit of coloring. Oh, I like this one because it has the field notes thing. Well, that one's nice too with the speckled dots. But I like this kind of grid. See, that's my grid to make notes on all of these lovely plants. They're kind of similar. Okay, I'm just going to wing it. But I want field notes and grid. I'll start with that. Oh, I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do it all. That's it. Field notes. Right here. Speckles. Here. Yeah. Notes. Okay, so now there's no room for everything else, but I'm going to put it in there anyhow. We have 2 greens to do. We already did the words, so now it's just these. I have a little smudge up there. Well, I have a paper cutter. It's so close to the edge. Hold on. Smudge gone. Gotta love that. So, I like how this looks. So maybe I can do, I didn't want to get the stem. I could cover it up. See, this is a big old plant here. This one needs to be documented here in my field notes. That, and little shadow. Oh, I didn't leave much room for my parakeet party shrubbery. Somehow right through here. Right there. Okay, now it wants a little here. You didn't want to write much, right? So if you make a card like that and you fill up the inside with beautiful artwork, especially if you don't have to color it, you don't have to write much. Parakeet light. Should I do light or dark? I'll try dark. Like I said, I don't think you could really tell. Which one did I do first? The difference, because the colors are so similar. A little bit of coloring. Now this one will show up. No blending required. Just fill it in. Do you like coloring? Some people do not. Some people do. I like coloring in small amounts. I love the blends, but for instance, if I was doing a Christmas card and I had to do over 3 of them, and I had to color a lot on it, I wouldn't like that. But little things like this, I like it. Especially because the markers look so good. Okay, I think we're almost done. So, come on, there it goes. The stuff is really good and sticky though. I missed the edge. What's going on here? I think I just need to clean it. I mean, there is like a big old goober right there. I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, there it goes. Anyhow, I need to clean it. I just pulled out my Glue Be Gone. Do you ever start on one project like, oh, I need a label for that embossing folder? And you pull out your label maker, and before you know it, you have your whole room tore apart. And you're like, because if you're going to run a label that's this big, you might as well, because there's double that of a lead and an end. So you might as well fill up the whole, anyhow. Yesterday, I guess I was in an organizing mood because to get one label, I started organizing and ripping apart everything. But it's nice now. Okay, there it is. Today's project. Notes of Nature, a lovely bundle. So if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. And if ever you could, hit the share button, because then that would go to friends. And I'd appreciate that. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.